I've been stuck in every single rank in Rocket League, so the information I'm about to give you comes from literal personal experience. It's not like I'm just a high ranked player guessing what low ranks are like. I played in these low ranks, I got out of these low ranks, and now I coach low ranks on how to do what I did. The main reason people can't get out of these ranks actually isn't because of their skill, believe it or not. A lot of the time, it's because of what they do off of competitive games. It's kind of the same thing as if you go to a guitar practice and you're trying to get really good at guitar, but outside of practicing this guitar with your teacher, you don't put any time in by yourself training. It's the same thing for really anything. If you lift weights once a week, you're not going to grow. If you train guitar once a week, you're not going to grow. If you play ranked once a week, you're not going to rank up. That's just the unfortunate reality. I wish I could play ranked once a month and then just get SSL somehow. I really do wish that was the case because it is very annoying and it really is a grind to rank up in Rocket League. But the biggest tip that I've noticed is that a lot of players, it's not that their mechanics aren't there. It's not that their game sense isn't there. They're capable of being a much higher rank than they are. It's just they don't apply themselves and they don't look at their teammates' positioning. They're really just focusing on what they're doing as a player, and they're not mindful of where their teammate is in a play. For example, I see very often players will go for an air dribble when their teammate is last back. Now, while this can be a good play if it goes in, if it's not in, what's going to happen is your teammate is, especially if your teammate's far back getting boosted by your net, if you don't score this air dribble, which realistically you probably won't, a lot of the times air dribbles are easy to stop, especially because there's no way to change your direction. A lot of the time you'll be stopped doing that air dribble, and then you'll be in their net stuck trying to recover, and then your teammate will be in a 1v2. So that's a great example of not being mindful of your teammate's positioning. Now, of course, it's kind of your teammate's fault for not being in the play, but at the same time, you chose a mechanic that has a slow recovery that you will be leaving your teammate in a 1v2, and it's a 90% chance that will be a goal because all they have to do is air dribble bump. All they have to do is have one player bump your teammate and the other just dribble it in. It's very easy to score in that position. Now, had you chosen a different mechanic, like maybe instead of going for an air dribble, you just go for a flip reset. Now, the good thing about a flip reset is once you get the flip, you can put it in a position where they're not going to be able to instantly have a counterattack off of your play, which is a play I'll go for very often, especially if my teammate is not right next to me. It's a good play to delay time for my teammate to get in the play. Another huge tip is consistency, right? Everyone knows for everything consistency is key. Like I mentioned, the same exact examples, guitar, if you practice guitar every day, you're going to get better. If you weightlift every single day, you're going to get stronger inevitably. Same thing with Rocket League. I've never known anyone to play something or do anything every day and get worse at it. You are literally forced to get better at the game the more you play the game. That's just how it works. So the main problem I see is when people are playing the game, they have two completely different play styles, maybe even more, based on the day that they're playing. If you want to get good at something as fast as possible, you need to train that specific thing, no matter what you're doing. If you're trying to get better at playing a certain song on the guitar, you need to be practicing that specific song over and over. What sense would it make to try to get good at this song, and then you're practicing a completely different song, and then you ask yourself the question, why am I not good at this song? Oh, well, maybe it's because you're not only practicing it, you're diverting your attention into multiple different things, which is going to delay your progress. It's going to be extremely inefficient. And once again, I'm speaking from experience. I wasted thousands of hours training things that I probably haven't even used in ranked games more than 5 times. Like, I can triple reset, I can MacTuff reset, I can do insane mechanics, I'd say, but they're really not useful, and it didn't go towards ranking up. Now, it is fun to know these mechanics. It's cool to be able to go in free play and be able to triple reset for montages and clips. That's cool, but these aren't mechanics that aren't going to improve my rank. They're mechanics that are going to make me look cool. So you just need to ask yourself the question, do you want to look cool, or do you want to rank up and improve in the game? And that's completely up to you. Either way is completely acceptable. I've been on both sides. I used to be a freestyler. That's why I learned all these mechanics, and then I decided I want to be a competitive player. And luckily for me, my mechanics transferred over to a certain extent from freestyling to ranked. But at the end of the day, you just need to choose what do you want to be in Rocket League in terms of skill. And the last tip, this is probably the most important one, is ranked gameplay, right? So when you're playing ranked, what mode do you choose, right? Do you choose 1v1? Do you choose 2v2? do you choose 3v3? And it's definitely a question of preference. First of all, that's the most important thing. Do what you find is most enjoyable. But if you want to improve as quick as possible, I think you should be spending 50% of your ranked games playing 1v1 and 50% of your ranked games playing 2v2. And that may be a hot take or a controversial topic because a lot of people think that 1v1 isn't a good mode. 1v1 is the only mode I can get SSL in, funny enough, because that's the mode I dedicated the most time towards when I was trying to improve in Rocket League. But when you get so good at 1v1, this will completely transfer over to your 2v2 gameplay, because when you get yourselves in 1v1 positions, you're going to score almost every single time, because the higher rank you get in 1v1 in the actual mode, the harder it is to get these free 1v1 positions. A lot of the time, when you get the ball in your car, you're going to be insta-challenged. A lot of the time, you're not even going to have space to get the ball on your car. A lot of the time, you're going to be low boost. But if you can get in these positions in a 2v2 game in a 1v1, you're going to probably score almost every single time if you're good enough at 1v1. And that's a really helpful tip, and it applies for defense as well. Obviously, anyone in a 1v1 position on offense should score. You should be scoring these almost every single time, because if you go for a shot, like a power shot, that's extremely difficult to save and much easier for the person on offense opposed to the person on defense. Or if you go for an air dribble bump, there's really no way to defend a perfect air dribble bump. But if they have just regular shots, your defense is going to be significantly better, because in 1v1 you're on a lot more defense than 2v2. There's really no rotation in 1v1, so it's just constant pressure, constant this, constant that. So playing 1v1 is probably the biggest tip and the most important tip I would give, aside from your training outside of Rocket League. But it really does come down to preference. If you're a player that really just hates playing 1v1, don't play 1v1 if you really hate the mode, because at the end of the day, what matters the most is how much fun you're going to have in the game. Don't play something or do something that you don't enjoy. You know, we're not here forever. Only play something that you're going to actually have fun, that is sustainable, right? If you hate 1v1, don't play 1v1. If you hate 2v2, don't play 2v2. If you hate 3v3, don't play 3v3. Me personally, I've probably played less than 5 ranked 3v3s in my entire career of Rocket League, which might sound crazy to say, but I feel like it's pretty normal, because in SSL, there's only about, I think, 600 SSLs in 3v3. I'm not certain on that, but the reason for this is because SSL, pardon my French, it's just a joke. I mean, it's SSL 3v3. A Champ 3 could get SSL in 3v3. That's how easy it is, and it's just troll. There's really not improvement. It's just a bunch of monkeys, in my opinion. But yeah, that's all I have in this video. I also do have a Discord server that I'm very active in, linked in the description of this video. We have a nice community over there, so you guys can join if you'd like. If this video helps you guys out at all, please be sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.